What's up, guys? After a little extended break, we are back with a triple threat main event. We've had a lot going on in the wrestling world since the last time we were here. Well, the last time we were here, we gave our WrestleMania predictions, and then I
Yep.
think I did a couple of, I did a little bit of the first night, and then I did a lot of the second night of WrestleMania. You guys got to watch along with us. Um, but with me, as always, tonight is the hitman from down under, Mr. Jack Pennachio. What's up, buddy?
Steve, what's going on, buddy?
Same old dude. I don't know about how the weather is over there, but our weather is like all over the place. I've had the AC on one night, and then had to turn it off the next night, turn the heat back on. So it's all over the place right now. But
Yeah, we're coming into autumn now, so the warmer days are going now, which is good. I'm a winter man, so I'm happy.
yep. So since the last time we were on, WrestleMania 40 has come and gone with a big success. I think they set records at the live gate, over $40 million at the live
Yeah.
gate, which was incredible. Um, I will say this, and maybe we'll get into that once we finish, about what we thought, how it was as far as what you rank the WrestleManias of recent years. Um, but getting into some current news, some stuff that's happened.
Yeah.
Uh, Ray Ripley, what is going on with her? I've heard so many rumors about why she's out. I heard she's not really hurt. Heard,
Yeah.
I've heard she may be pregnant, and they don't want to say it yet because she's not out of that first month or where they tell people and stuff. Heard that. I don't know if you've heard that or not.
I've heard as a work shoot elbow injury. Some of them say it's not that bad of an injury. You don't need that much time off. All she said was, "I'll see you in a few months." They never given her a date yet.
Right.
Um, Now we all know she's with Buddy Murphy, so we all
Right.
know that. They When they came to Australia, he came as well. So maybe things are just progressing with them too. Some time off together. She's been on the roster nonstop for what, a year and a half now, just straight. Um, so I don't know. It's a hard one. I mean, the injury didn't look too bad, but you don't
Right.
know. But yeah,
As
I
far
think it's a shoot. It's a work
as
shoot.
far as taking time off with him and I would think I would say, hey, look, let me drop the belt to somebody before I get in the ring and do a elbow injury or something like that. Um, as much as she loved having that belt, and as hard as she fought to get that belt, and now you see kind of Liv Morgan. Looks like she's going to be the one trying to seduce Dom,
Yeah.
and take over. I'm your mommy now. So Dom, and look, he's out. Is that? I wonder if, from what I hear, is a legit injury there.
I've heard that's a real legit one. But he also got married not too long ago.
Yeah, he did
So
a couple months ago. Yeah, sure did. But I don't know. We got a comment. Y'all are just recapping WrestleMania 40. Why don't y'all recap Starrcade 86 while you're at it? Yeah, Kyle, shut up. We
nah,
we
it's
will do Starrcade 86 sometime, Kyle. So don't
yeah.
keep on
Our
talking
timing
about.
was a bit off. We've been flat out at work, and I had days off when Stevie didn't. Stevie had days off when I didn't. And today I just said to everyone, I'm busy today. I need to do this. So we're getting
I
there,
do,
Kyle.
I do want to throw a shout out to Kyle because Kyle's had a battle with cancer, and he went back for his checkup yesterday and found out everything was good. All the scans were good. So you know, good job, buddy. I'm glad to hear
Congratulations,
that.
Kyle, man. Well done.
Uh, I'm wearing my Steelers stuff. We had the NFL draft. We finished just about an hour ago. But the WWF draft comes up. That starts on Friday night, and at first when that first started, I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. But I'm going to read out some of the results because it was
Yeah, go
like,
for it.
I think there was 3 rounds. Let's see, 4 rounds. but hardly anybody changed from what I could see.
Yeah,
Bianca,
yeah.
she's on SmackDown. I don't know if that's changed. I think that may have changed. Jey Uso goes to Raw. Carmelo Hayes to SmackDown. Seth Rollins to Raw, which I mean, I think he was on Raw all the time anyway. Randy Orton SmackDown. This is round 2 now. I think they do 4. Randy Orton SmackDown. Braun Breaker to Raw. So I guess now we're going to see Braun. I thought after the Royal Rumble he was getting called up, but then he stayed for a while in NXT with Baron Corbin. Nia Jax to SmackDown. Liv Morgan to Raw. Then you go to round 3. LA Knight to SmackDown. Ricochet to Raw. And then the whole bloodline is on SmackDown. The new bloodline, by the way, Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, and Paul Heyman. And Sheamus or Burger Man is on Raw. And then round 4, finishing up, there's only 2 on here, but they got the whole Alpha Academy goes to Raw. That's 4 people. AJ Styles to SmackDown. So, before we get into this recap, I don't know if you saw this or not. Ricochet wins the new Speed. What is this?
Speed is a wrestling show that's on Twitter.
So he's Speed.
It's almost like the when they revamped main event for Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah.
I think it's because it's on their TV promotion. They put it on Twitter. But everyone's calling it the new Cruiserweight, the new 24/7 belt. I didn't even I heard about it because they did it before WrestleMania 40. And I thought that must just something to promote the new brand. And there's a belt and everything. I didn't see it, obviously.
It hadn't been televised yet, from what I'm hearing.
No.
I've just seen you just see the picture of him with the belt on. So and the belt looks I'm not a fan of the belt.
It looks like an XFL belt, like they just smacked the Speed logo on top of it.
It could be. Look, it could be as bad as I don't know if you've ever heard this story about the Bash, 1991 Great American Bash. Flair just left, took the belt with him, and they didn't have enough time to make another belt. So they took Dusty Rhodes.
Big gold belt?
Yeah.
Yep.
Dusty Rhodes took his old, when he had that Turnbuckle Wrestling Federation. They took that belt and they plated, they put together plated WCW World Champion on it. You get a close up of it. It's horrible. It's horrible looking. But they had to have it that night, so they did what they had to do. All right. WrestleMania 40. Live from Philly. Night 1. And gosh knows if I heard the weather report once, I heard it a million times that night. Yeah. It's 50 degrees. We got a wind chill of 40.
I had to Google it because you guys do Fahrenheit. My God, it was cold.
Yeah.
Outdoors too.
They led off night 1 with Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch for the women's championship. And then they started talking about Becky she's got strep throat.
That was real too.
Yeah, running a really high fever, but got out there with the cold and did. I mean, they had a great match. I was a big fan of this match, but Rhea ends up beating Becky. I think we talked about a little bit with Becky's contract and Seth's contract still apparently at that time up in the air. They haven't signed a new contract. I was like, well, she's definitely not going to win tonight. But Rhea, they had a great match, and hats off to both of them for that. But Rhea gets the win over Becky. What's your thoughts on that match?
I think that was a great way. I didn't think they were going to start with this match. I thought it was going to be the 6-man tag team match, but this was a great way to start it. What people probably heard later on was Rhea was having anxiety attacks before the show.
Yes.
And dude, I don't blame him, man. You're coming out there. The first match of any Mania, you remember it. WrestleMania 1, was Tito.
Oh yeah,
You
Tito
always remember
Santana
that.
versus the Executioner.
That was 40 years ago. So you always remember the first match, and you pretty much set the standard for the whole night. But great way to start the WrestleMania. I picked Rhea. I thought it was too early, even though she had the belt for a year. It was too early for her to drop it because her storyline is just great. This went for 17 minutes, and it was perfect. Some quiet spots, slowed it down, sped it up. But when they said Becky was sick, made me wonder maybe that's why they didn't give her the belt yet. But
Well,
because I don't know how long strep throat is. I don't know how bad it is. I never had it.
it's pretty bad. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Because if you watch the recent Raw, she's now your new champion. So it's kind of, well, she didn't win it at Mania, but we'll give it to you now, kind of thing.
Here's my thing about that. Okay, I honestly think that her and Seth were planning on taking time off, and I'm still thinking Seth is, because Seth's got a really bad injury apparently.
Yes. Yep.
But when whatever it is comes up with Rhea, I think WWE goes into not panic mode. They go into like, okay, we got to figure something out. I think they make a call to Becky and say, look, can you stick around for a little while and we'll put the belt on you, because we got to have somebody put the belt on. Who else could they have put the belt on that would be able to carry it? I mean, Liv, maybe. But I really think they contacted her and talked her out of taking time off for a little while.
Like, do you think she'll hold it just for a couple of months, maybe to?
I don't know. I don't know if it's a transition or what, but that Tiffany Stratton.
I think it would be too early to give it to her in a Rumble match.
Yeah,
she needs to win it by herself.
Her and Liv would be the obvious other choice. I think I would see her before Stratton.
Yes,
but I think she's going the heel route now, from what it looks like. So, yeah, that should be interesting to see what goes on there. But I think she actually got talked out of taking some time off. Seth, we'll get into that in a little bit later on when we do this.
Yeah.
So moving on. Next match was the 6 tag team ladder match.
Did you know this was for individual belts, or did you think? I didn't either.
I was like, how is this going to work? Because when they had them both setting up there, I was like, how is this going to work? I mean, you're going to have a team grab a set of belts, and then what happened? I mean, how long would that have lasted if you had to have one team get both sets of belts? It would have been forever. I mean, but I like this match. I really did. It was, and to the what are they? Are they even calling themselves anything? A-Town Down Under, Austin Theory, Grayson Waller. They get the SmackDown titles.
Yep.
And then they finally gets his WrestleMania moment. R-Truth and the Miz, the Awesome Truth, win the Raw titles. Of course, R-Truth tries to make a hot tag and then wants to go for a pinfall and all that stuff. And Miz talks him out of it. But it was nice to see that. I heard a lot of people say I didn't really care for this match, but this one was, I was really getting into it. I mean,
it was a fun. It's a typical ladder match at Mania.
Yeah, it was action packed. So,
and you had DIY coming out with DX.
With DX because of R-Truth.
Yep.
Oh, you playing mind games with me, Triple H, Tommaso Ciampa.
But it's good, like you said. After almost 25 years, R-Truth got a Mania moment. He's a guy who's just he does what he does what he's told, and it pays off.
Yep.
And R-Truth and the Miz, they're a fun, great tag team. I will watch them.
Yeah, I will too. I heard R-Truth on Busted Open. It was about a week after WrestleMania.
Is that with Mark Henry talking to him?
Mark Henry, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you hear him talking about the He's got enough. He said, "I've got enough songs for like 2 rap albums now."
Yeah. So
And
he's
he was,
good. He's doing things on the side too. So
yeah. I mean, R-Truth is. I mean, I remember when he was. You remember when he came to WWE? He was K Quick,
yep,
but he was
yep,
Ron
Rowdy.
Killings in TNA. So he's been around the block, and it was nice
Which
to
people
see.
may forget, he was an NWA champion. That
Yeah,
counts.
NWA World Champion. He was one of the
Yep.
first when TNA and NWA had that little partnership going at the
Yeah.
first TNA. Yeah,
So
he
he
was.
is a world heavyweight champion.
Yeah, and now you see. I guess you saw the other night DIY. Apparently, there's a little rift developing with them after they fought the Miz and R-Truth the other night lost. Ciampa storms off out of the ring after the match when Gargano is over there shaking hands with Miz and R-Truth. So looks like they might be headed for a
Yeah,
breakup.
I mean, when I saw NXT live when they came to Australia, DIY was one of the hottest tag teams in NXT. They should have came up together. I know Tommaso got injured for about a year or something, 10 months to a
He
year.
was out for a while.
And that stopped the momentum of DIY. But I think once that happened, it finished. Johnny went his way. They try to rebuild DIY, but I don't think it's ever going to be the same as it was in 2016, 17. So I think it's best if they went their separate ways now
Well,
for John.
I just don't understand getting them back together because they haven't been back together for long.
No.
And then splitting them back up. Maybe it'll be a drawn out thing where they'll do that. But I was like, you just got together,
Yeah.
and now you're going to split them up. So, all right, the next match, Rey Mysterio and Andrade defeated Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio, and this was just thrown together at the last minute, I think. I mean, with all of Dom's plans had kind of gone up in the air with Brock being out. And, there were rumors going around that Brock was going to make an appearance at WrestleMania, which that never came to fruition. But just felt like a thrown together match. But I guess they had to do the whole crowd pop at the end with Lane Johnson and Jason Kelce, Philadelphia Eagles, coming out of the crowd with mask on and interfering in the match. And then they get the ring and the whole place pops when they see who it is.
Yeah.
But wasn't one of my favorite matches of WrestleMania at all.
It wasn't great. It was better than the next match that we'll get to. Like I said, it's always good to see Ray in the ring.
Yeah.
I enjoy watching him. I was lucky enough to see him live in 2002 when he first came to the WWE.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think this was just a match where we've got nearly 10 wrestlers. We've got nothing for you. Just go out. We'll give you 10, 15 minutes. We'll have a high pop with the Kelce brothers, or one of them anyway. And that will be the celebrity spot. And hopefully, I do hope this ends the whole Ray and Dominic thing. It's done now.
I hope so.
Like, okay, you can fight with your father, you can disagree, but it's done. It's not the McMahon Shane, because that worked.
Yeah.
This is done now. So I hope, because Ray took the win and Dominic's out now, hopefully kind of just slowly fades away and maybe start again with something else. But no, it was okay tag match. 2 tag matches back to back is what you get at Mania. So
yeah, and I didn't see it last night, but I heard that Carlito turns on the LWO last night.
Yeah,
and you could see that coming.
Yeah, he's been really quiet since his return. So you can tell this is like a Hunter kind of thing where he's like, "Look, we're gonna bring you back very slowly. You come back as a heel." Because he was a great heel when he's spitting people's faces.
Yeah. Definitely.
So, look, I'm glad Carlito's doing something now. So we'll see what they can do with him now.
Yeah. So you talked about this next match. Oh man, this was painful. And Jey Uso defeats Jimmy Uso. And to say this was a bad match is an understatement. I was like, what in the world? I mean,
People are saying this is the worst match in WrestleMania.
history.
Yeah, one of.
I was getting ready to say it could be. It really could be. And you expected these guys are not. I mean, these guys really need to be back together. They don't. I can't. And I'm sorry, not saying they're not talented enough as singles, but I can't get into them.
I
Now,
can't.
I've never been a huge Uso fan, but I liked them as a tag team. But as singles wrestlers,
Well, this
it's
match made Warrior and Triple H look like a 5-star match.
good lord.
The thing is, what I didn't like about this match and about the Usos, they've ruined the super kick now. I remember when you would watch HBK, and they say, "Oh, he's tuning up the band," and he would put everything into that super kick, and he would fall backwards and lay on him because he had nothing left, and he'd take the win. This was just a super kick after super kick. This is
It's
what I
like
don't get. They're using a finishing move so often. It's become the new DDT now.
oh
When
yeah,
Jake the Snake used to wrap their head in their arm, he'd hold him for 5-10 seconds, wave his arm in the air, and go, "Dude, this is it. He's going to win." And he won.
yeah.
16 super kicks, or whatever it was, and they're kicking out. I'm like, nah, dude, done.
Well, between them and the Young Bucks, they've ruined the super kick. You're
Yeah.
right. The Young Bucks have a freaking super kick party or whatever it is. It's ridiculous. Uh, but this match, all I can compare it to, and I don't know if you ever got to see this, was watching at one of the Great American Bashes, Robert Gibson fight Ricky Morton.
Yeah.
The Rock and Roll Express fighting each other, and that was not a good match either.
No.
I mean, it was really not good. But
Some matches you don't need to have.
no, I mean it looks good on paper, and I think now you're probably going to see the Usos get back together with everything that's going on with the new bloodline.
Yeah.
You're probably eventually going to see the Usos back together and another bloodline. So we're going to have it's going to be the old NWO days where bloodline, Hollywood bloodline.
Yeah. But you could tell at some point, I think it was Jimmy, he was in the corner and he saw his daughter on the phone. He's like, "Get off the phone." That's how boring this match was.
Exactly. His daughter, I mean, he said it himself. His own daughter wasn't even watching her uncle and her dad because it was so freaking boring.
Yeah.
Come on. Jeez. What does that tell you? Y'all need to do something different. Look, the spot they did on the second night in the World Championship match was better than the whole match they had together then.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
And we'll get to that. But yeah, this was the worst match of both nights.
I think so too. It was a snoozer of a match.
Yeah.
Okay, the next match, Bianca Belair, Naomi, and Jade Cargill making her WrestleMania debut. They defeat Dakota Kai, Asuka, and Kairi Sane in a six-woman tag team match. This wasn't bad, but I guess the whole thing about seeing Jade coming out and having a match but this was another one that I was like, okay, all right.
It was just a way to get Jade over.
Yeah, it's a way to get her at WrestleMania.
Yeah. This went for 8 minutes and 5 seconds. It's a typical, 6-woman tag match. It is what it is. It's just to get Jade on the big screen, on the big stage.
And she had a spot.
Yeah, and this is the new faction now with her, Bianca, and Naomi now. So,
and I'm hearing, Bianca and Jade are going to challenge the Kabuki Warriors. So they're probably going to end up winning the women's tag team belt.
Yeah, because Asuka needs time away now. So, but Asuka's now 0-6 at Mania. So
Asuka she was a little hobbled too, I think.
She was injured coming into this, and that's why I was surprised they didn't put the belts on the line Oh no,
just
just a normal tag match, but
just had the tag team, the titles change hands at WrestleMania instead of having it, at
even if
Raw.
you had, Bianca and Naomi win it and you have Jade come in as a manager on the side, do one quick spot, get out, let them win. But hey,
I
it
think that,
wasn't too bad.
I think they want to put something on Jade though. I think they want that belt on her just to, and she's too. I think she's too green to do it on her own right now. She's not ready for that.
She's
But
got too much of the AEW push still, where she's winning everything still.
they need to put somebody like Bianca with her to
Yeah,
kind of carry her for a little while. All right, the next match for the Intercontinental Championship, probably I would say the match of this night, and I
yeah,
am including the next match after the main event. Gunther puts his record Intercontinental Championship reign on the line against Sami Zayn, and man, did these guys just go out there and beat the crap out of each other.
yeah,
They had the whole Rocky theme with Sami Zayn and Chad Gable. Chad Gable playing Apollo, and said, after this, you're going to owe me a big favor, which they did it because they were in Philly, I know. And there was talk about Stallone maybe making an appearance, which that never happened. But yeah, I mean, there was so many close falls. I was like, they're not going to let him do it. They're not going to let him beat him. Each
yeah.
time I thought he was going to win, and he didn't. I was like, there's no way they're going to let Gunther lose now. But Sami Zayn gets the win, and he's your new Intercontinental Champion. What'd you think of this match?
Look, I knew this was going to be the match of the night. I had high hopes that Gunther was going to keep winning. I don't know. It was a bit of a disappointment because Sammy, I didn't want him to win. I don't know why. I really wanted Gunther and what's his name? I've gone blank now. The son of Steiner. I've gone.
Oh, Braun
Yeah.
broke.
I really wanted him to be the one to dethrone Gunther, even if it was like on the next Raw. Like,
Right.
there's always a someone who shows up on Raw the next day that's never
Yeah,
been on the main
always
roster.
a crazy one. Yeah.
Because the whole thing was going around. This is the 666th day that he was champion. But look, I think besides the main event, this was the greatest match of the night. The IC title at WrestleMania, for some reason, always steals the show.
Yeah, go back to Savage and Steamboat. I mean,
Yep.
and they're dealing with probably the biggest main event in WrestleMania history with Hogan and Andre, and they steal the show. I mean, no doubt about it.
And then you go WrestleMania 10 with Razor and Shawn, the ladder match.
Yeah, the ladder match. Yeah,
that went over what they had. They went longer than what they should have. So, look, I'm glad Gunther's kind of have like a little break now. If you watched Raw, he said he's going to come back and be the king of the ring, which is good. Yeah. I hope he does. But I think this is going to be his push to become maybe not champion yet, but start being in the picture now.
Yeah, I mean,
heavyweight champion.
The fact that they took it off of him is just telling me that he's getting ready to get in that world title picture. One of them.
Yeah.
And we'll get into that world title picture in just a few minutes. But yeah, I thought it was a great match. Like you said, I went away from there. Like I said, I had to work early the next morning, and I said I'm gonna stick around. I may make it through this, but there was no way I could stop watching after on that match.
Yep.
Now the next match, I live that night. I did not get to see it because I was like, I'm probably going to make it through this match. But if I'd have known it was going to take 20 minutes for all four of them to get to the ring, good Lord, the entrance took forever and a day. But The Rock and Roman Reigns beat Cody and Seth. Rock gets the pin on Cody, which I think is, that's
setting up something.
Yeah, that's setting up something for later on. But yeah,
I wonder how much money The Rock put in the swear jar for that match. oh my God!
I can tell you guys, and it's come out now. the PG era is over in
It's
WWE.
gone.
They came out and said that this week that all the promos you've been seeing and yeah, and this match went 45 minutes. Count,
Yes.
which 20 of it was them coming to the ring, but they go 45 minutes. So the Rock really didn't look that blown up. I mean, but it was
No,
a
he did
tag
well.
match.
He did really well.
I thought he did pretty good with that. Um, and you're looking at after the pinfall, you look at Cody in the ring when the Rock and Reigns go out like he's doubting himself. You're like, oh gosh, he's gonna tomorrow night. He's already losing his confidence already.
They
But
left a little tease in there when Roman speared The Rock by
the
accident.
Rock, yeah,
I actually thought, I was thinking, wow, Cody and Seth are going to win this. For a split second, I thought they would win it. So they're good. They put that little tease in there, which is good.
well, anytime, and I said this, anytime you put a stipulation like that in on a match, especially going into the next night, there's no way it was going to be
Of
uh,
course.
some way they were going to win. The Rock and Roman were going to win that match, so you could have bloodline rules the next night.
Yep.
So, but yeah, so now Cody and Roman fight for the championship, bloodline rules, which means anything goes. So that's the end of night one. Night one, not a bad night. I mean, you had that, you really had that Uso stinker weighing everything down, but it wasn't totally bad. But
If this was like a No Way Out or a No Mercy pay-per-view, I'll say this was an okay pay-per-view. It worked.
right,
Obviously, night two, ever since they've done the 2 nights of WrestleMania, night two is always the one that everyone wants to watch, just
oh
because.
yeah,
This wasn't too bad. Like, would I watch it again? I'd probably watch the Sami Zayn match again in Gunther, and maybe the Bloodline match. Other than
yeah.
that, the other matches just filled in time, just filled in spaces for wrestlers to be in. I'll probably give it a good probably 2.5 out of 5.
Yeah,
Maybe three, just because of the IC match.
yeah. I'd probably give it like a 3. I would say a
Yep.
3. But that would be Sami Zayn's match and Gunther's match really carrying that.
Yes.
Oh, as good as that was, the Usos match was so bad, so bad. Night 2, and it's a little bit warmer. Night 2. We don't. If you had taken a drink every time they gave you the temperature and the wind chill factor, night 1, you'd have been plastered by the end of the night because they said it, but they didn't say it quite as much on night 2 because it was a little bit warmer.
Is that a typical Philadelphia weather at this time of year?
Well, you can't. You see, you can't ever tell, especially in Philly. That's why it was kind of, some people like having it outside. This is kind of taking a chance. I mean, you could have had what this is that time of year. You could have had snow. I mean,
Right. Okay.
up north like that, there's no telling what kind of weather you might have had. I mean, you have it in like that time they had it in Florida. They had the rain and all that.
Yep.
But yeah, you could have had snow.
I mean, it's a big
At
risk
that
for
time of year.
anything now when they have outdoor shows. Like, how do you know what's
You
going to
take a
happen?
chance. You take a
Yeah.
chance. And look, if you think about back in the 80s, when they started the Great American Bash, a lot of those shows were outdoors. I mean, they had
Yep.
an outdoor show in Philly at Veterans Stadium. So you could have a pour down thunderstorm and everything up there. They had it in Charlotte outside. There were several nights they had outside, but it's just a chance you took. But
They were lucky last year because they had it at the Rams Stadium, which is closed in, which is good.
yeah.
But, I've always wondered that, like, what if something bad happens? Like, I know a couple of years ago, it rained in Tampa and they had to postpone it for about half hour, 40 minutes.
Yeah.
But I guess if it snows, you're not going to sit in the snow for 5 hours. No way.
And I mean, not saying it. Did you hear they're talking about moving it back to like what was it? They want to do it on like a President's Day weekend, so they can
When's
have
that?
it's like President's Day. When is President's
So
Day?
more in towards like your spring, summer weather.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Yeah, right.
but
Well,
that's
I
what.
always thought maybe it'd be good to have like a WrestleMania a little bit later in the year because now what have you got to look forward to? SummerSlam and the Saudi Arabia shows. You know what I mean? It's kind of
Maybe I'm wrong about it. Maybe it's not President's Day, but I know because President's Day is in February. But maybe maybe
maybe like
oh,
around.
Roger Goodell was talking about moving the Super Bowl. That's what it was.
Oh,
Moving
I
the
saw
Super
that this
Bowl to
morning. Yeah.
President's Day, and they were talking about that could interfere with something with WrestleMania. So
It'd be
that was
nice if you guys played Super Bowl on a Saturday because then I get to watch it here on a Sunday and I don't have to call in sick on a Monday.
I remember they used to have the Super Bowl. There was a couple of times when I was a kid they had it like during the day, like same time as a regular NFL game would come on. And I
They
was
did that with our football grand final. It used to be like a 2:30, 3 o'clock kickoff, which was
yeah,
great. Daytime, and you go out at 5 o'clock to the pub, clubs, whatever. Now they kick off at like 8 o'clock at night.
yeah, yeah. It's
So
just like the NCAA basketball national championship game doesn't start till like 8:15, 8:30. And I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna make it up through this whole night.
yeah,
There's no way. But going into let's see, night two,
night two. Alrighty.
starting off the World Heavyweight Championship match, Drew McIntyre taking on Seth Rollins. With
Was I at
CM
Mardi
Punk,
Gras for this match?
do what?
Was I at Mardi Gras for this match? You see Seth's entrance? My lord!
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. That was a little over the top, but what did you expect from Seth Rollins? Especially when you're thinking, well, we know he may not be wrestling for a while, and it's WrestleMania. You knew he was going to be some kind of crazy entrance, but
Did you hear the little Rowdy Roddy Piper entrance at the start of Drew's theme with the bagpipes?
yes, I did. I
That was
did.
nice. I like that. You had to be quick to hear it, but it was there.
Yeah, it was a good nod to the hot rod.
Yeah.
But and I'll take my hat off to Kyle. I mean, when we did the predictions, Kyle was saying, "What if you know CM Punk cost him, or something happens and Damian Priest ends up coming down and he gets and CM Punk's there." Kyle called it. I mean, and we were doing the watch along. Kyle was nice enough to come on to watch along with me that night, and he called it. And I'll give it up for you, Kyle, if you're still out there listening. I don't know if you are or not, but great. McIntyre Rollins, they go back and forth. Kind of a short match, and I don't know if that was because of Seth's injury or not, but
It was a
shorter,
quick finish, yeah.
yeah, it was shorter than I thought it would, but Drew gets the win, and you get that little nod when Seth's going out of the ring of respect for each other. And then I'm like, okay, this can't be just over like this. And then you see Drew McIntyre roaming around, and of course, he has to go over there and rub it in on CM Punk. Stands over him on the table, the announcer table, and it ends up being CM Punk takes him out, hits him with the elbow brace, and you hear the music. Damian Priest comes out.
Yeah.
And
When Punk took his elbow thing off, I thought to myself, he's healed, he's good to go.
what I
But
thought too. Exactly.
he's still healing. But they did that so well because he took it off, and I thought he was gonna like just elbow him. But no,
Yeah.
that was good. That was a good little sell there. He had me going.
I thought the same thing. I was like, he's been kind of sandbagging the whole time. He's ready to go. And but yeah, Damian Priest cashes in the Money in the Bank, defeats Drew McIntyre. How long did he hold the belt? Like 2 minutes?
I think it was 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Yeah,
he went and had a moment. I guess that was his wife.
I think it was.
And then that's when he went over there and tried to rub it in on Punk, and then
taking selfies.
Yeah, Damian Priest gets down there and takes him out, and Damian Priest is your new World Heavyweight Champion.
What do you think of that? Are you happy with that?
I mean, you kind of knew it was coming, but
besides the cash in, can you build off Damian right now?
I don't know. It may just be me. I'm just not buying him as world championship caliber.
I'm the same. I don't think right now, like he bypassed everything, everybody.
Yes. Yes.
Um,
I was
Branson's,
shocked when he won Money in the Bank.
yeah, because now you got to try and build him to be the champion. When the Miz, when CM Punk won it and Edge won the money in the briefcase, you can go, okay, I believe that.
Yeah.
With Damien, it's kind of like he looks like a champion, but not yet. Like I'll rather put it on Gunther if Gunther cashed in. I believe that.
I could believe that. The fact that Damien, I mean, was a world tag team champion, and he was doing mostly tag matches over the last few months. I mean, he wasn't really establishing himself as a dominant thing. I mean, you want your champion to be going out there being a dominant single star, just like dominating people and getting wins. But I don't know. I mean, I'm skeptical on him.
Because he's
And
been the US champion, and that's
yeah,
about
he
he's been
was.
and then you was it the North American champion? But it's kind of I think it's too early for him. But then again, he had the briefcase. He only had about 3-4 months left to cash it in.
Yeah, he didn't have long. No, he didn't have long at all.
But if you're
But
watching Raw now, what Drew's doing, you get it. He's doing something with Sheamus. He'll do something with Punk. So it's okay that he's not champion. But for Damien, it might work out. It might be a good surprise.
the line of the night on Raw the other night was, when you were here, it was Shane talking to Sheamus. When you were here, it was bangers, bangers, bangers. Now the way it look is burgers, burgers, burgers. I was like, oh my gosh, he keeps coming up with. I don't know if somebody's writing this stuff for him, but he keeps coming up. But the way he delivers it is just like it's right on the spot. But yeah, Drew, and now with Damien. And this may be the best way to get Damien over, too. He tells the rest of the Judgment Day the other night, I don't need you. You guys need me more than I need you.
It's
So he's
coming.
trying to get that big head now,
Yep.
and maybe that's a way to get him where you can buy him as a champion. I don't know, but I'm just not. I'm not set in stone on what he's doing right now as far as
Yeah.
being a champion. But we'll see.
Yep.
So the next match, I didn't even know this match was on the card. When they came out to the ring, I was like, okay, where did this come from? So they must
Yep.
have had some time to fill or something like that. The Pride, Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits defeat the Final Testament, which is Karrion Kross, Akam, and Razor. 6-man Philadelphia street fight. Everywhere you go, I want to see these street fight rules with different cities if they change. Like Chicago street fight, because the Road Warriors used to do that all the time.
Yep.
Even though they were from Minnesota, they said they were from Chicago. Uh, I don't know what the different rules for different places are. Maybe they'll have an Australian street fight one day or
I
something
think
like
they
that.
called it this because if you don't know, Bubba Ray, special guest referee,
Yes.
Philly, ECW, Paul Heyman in the Hall of Fame, Philly. Let's just call it Philadelphia street fight match.
Yeah. And that was the highlight of the whole match. There was, it was him, Bubba Ray coming out to be the special guest referee for
Because
me.
I didn't know either that he was doing that. If you listen to Busted Open, no one knew. They had their tailgate outside the stadium, and Bubba Ray said, "I got to go watch this match." And everyone's like, "Why? Why are you going?" He goes, "No, I really got to watch this match. I got to go." So everyone's like, "Oh, okay, we'll see you later then." And then he comes out, so he kept it a secret from
But
everyone.
I was convinced that maybe during the tag match of night one, the Dudleys might be a surprise, and we talked about that on our
We did.
prediction. Yeah, but that would have been pretty cool there. Not saying they would have won it, but just the fact that they came out there would be great. This one was a throwaway match for me, except for Bubba Ray. And then Bubba Ray say, "Get the tables," and then they they broke the table early. They
Yeah.
broke the freaking table early. I I was about to die laughing, and they played it off. They went and got another table, but yeah,
If it
some of these
wasn't for
tables.
Bubba, I wouldn't really be too interested in this. Like I said, this is like the third 6-man kind of tag patch in 2 nights. It's too many, from my
What,
opinion.
what are they going to do with somebody like Bobby Lashley or the Street Profits right now? I mean,
I think
they're
Bobby has to be single. He's a great manager. He does well, but he's such a big man. Let him fight. Let him do singles again. Because
yeah.
under the old regime, I don't know if we can say his name anymore. I don't want to. They kind of held him back. He was the almighty, but he was losing. How can you be the almighty and lose every time?
Yep, I agree.
But the thing is with Bobby, like it's this is something funny. He's got the biggest happy baby face that when he's pissed off, like, oh, you're a cute teddy bear. He's
Yeah,
too
he's
happy. He's not scary, but he's huge.
He's huge, but yeah,
Put him
you're
against
exactly
Damien.
right.
Put
His
him against
face.
Damien.
Well, that's true too.
So,
But I can't. They. It seems like, and maybe it'll change now. It seems like they would get a push with him, and then he. It was like he would go back, kind of like the Dolph Ziggler's complex. He get a big push, and then next thing you know, he's on mid card losing. But they get the win, and but not as bad as the Usos match night one, but just a match I would not go back and watch again.
yeah. I don't even know if they know what to do with Karrion Kross right now.
I don't think so either. I really
I'm
don't.
scared that either they'll push him back to NXT or they'll say see you later.
The thing and this is a good problem to have. You've really with WWE right now, you've got too much talent.
Too much good talent, yep.
Yeah, you've got too much talent. I mean, it's just like with basketball. If you got 5 all-star players on one team, there's only one ball. I mean, you've got too much talent right now to where some of, and maybe they're happy being where they're at. I mean, I guess the alternative is AEW, but
he could be going to Triple H going, oh, what can I do this weekend? Like, look, man, we've got nothing. How about you just go out with the Authors of Pain? Just go out there. I've got nothing for you. Like, dude, come on. But I think between him and Scarlett, man, I don't know. They're not really fitting. You can't put him in the IC title match. You can't put him in the US bracket. I've got nowhere to put him. I'd send him back down to NXT.
And I'll tell you this: we do not need another belt. I don't get that. You've got too many. Well, right now, if they put another belt out there, I mean, the speed belt is one thing, but if they put another belt out there, I don't know. The only thing I could see is kind of, I mean, what you got, the world belt, you got the undisputed Universal Championship, you've got the U.S. belt, you got the Intercontinental belt,
2 women's
women's tag team belt, two different men's tag team belts.
There's 9.
So the only thing I could see putting out there another belt would be do something like what the NWA used to do, is do a TV belt. That actually, but they would have to do it like the NWA used to do it.
But they kind of had it with the 24/7 belt and became a joke.
But the 24/7 belt, I'm not talking about having one where you could get pinned anywhere.
No, but that was the idea, to have mid-carders fight for something. But, okay, granted, it was, you could take it anywhere you want, take on whoever, whenever.
Right.
It became a joke. I mean, the TV title is kind of like, you're going to defend it 52 times a year.
Well, no, you don't have to do it every week. I'm not saying that, but like when Arn held the TV belt in NWA, Arn or Tully, you had if you defended on TV, the TV champion set the time limit, and if you couldn't beat him in that time limit, then the match still went on. But if you'd have beaten that time limit, you didn't win the belt.
Right.
But it would. I mean, I'm not. I wouldn't want it anything like a 24/7. But
No.
if you're gonna get, and I don't believe me, I do not want another belt in WWE. I think it's just it would be overkill and it waters down everything else.
Apparently, Undertaker came out saying they need a US and Intercontinental title for women.
No.
I'm sorry. Great wrestler, great, probably one of the greatest in my generation, but that was a bad idea.
They look, nothing against what the women are doing right now, but you don't need 2 more belts for the women.
No, I mean it's great that they have a tag team because there's a lot of women. Give them a tag team belt.
Yeah,
but to give them 2 more singles belts, I don't think there's enough.
You'd have overkill there for sure.
Yes. Oh yeah.
So the next match, AJ Styles and LA Knight, and LA Knight gets the win. Not a bad match. I thought it was pretty good, but just didn't really keep my attention as much as I thought it would.
I think it's, as I called it earlier, it's the TNA match that we saw years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, like I said, if you watch Raw, LA Knight came out with the win, but then AJ gets the win and gets a world title match.
So, I mean, you kind of deflated the whole WrestleMania moment for LA Knight, and not giving him, he gets beat when a title shot is on the line. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing here with him either. And he made the comment on Busted Open that he was kind of worried at as quick as he rose up and got the Universal title shot with Roman. He was kind of worried. All right, where do I go from here? And I think that's the case right now. Where do you go from here with LA Knight?
You know what I think you need to do? I don't know. Maybe NWA owns his name. They got to get rid of LA Knight and make him Eli Drake again. I don't know. To call him LA Knight, I don't get it.
I don't get it either. But
I think a good wrestler, you need a good name. LA Knight sounds French for the night, like La Night.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's kind of.
I could see him doing something like, hey, if they did get his name back, do a heel turn and say, I'm not this LA Knight guy. I don't know this guy that you guys have grown up and loved. He said, that's not me. I'm Eli
Drake. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I like him, man. He's good in the ring. He's good on the mic.
Really good.
But like I said, I'm scared they're doing the whole Dolph Ziggler thing to him, where it's like, we haven't got nothing for you yet. Just hang in there. And then it's too late.
We're going to push you into this, but, we're not, we're not going to really give you that big of a push after that. We're going to kind of
say, we'll give you a WrestleMania moment, but you're not going to get a championship match.
Up and down. Yeah. I wouldn't want that. Just a good match. I'll say that. But then the match for the U.S. Championship, Logan Paul defending against Randy Orton and Kevin Owens, a triple threat, and Logan Paul gets the win. The entrance. What did you think about Kevin Owens driving down to the ring and picking up Randy Orton? I was like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? But
at one point, I thought he was going to pretend and then drive off.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. And then when he did, I was like, okay.
Why? Did you see Orton tap him on the shoulder, say, slow the F down?
Yeah.
That was good, man, because the match hasn't started yet. It was a long ramp. He's like, come on, let's come on. And a little throwback to ECW too, with the riding too. No, it was fun. It was a fun little couple of minutes. I like it.
And good gosh, is Logan Paul going to have somebody dressed up outside the ring every match he has? Nothing against Logan Paul because he puts on a great show. He
Yeah.
does for no longer than he's been around. He's got it. I mean, he really does have it. But every match he has on pay per view, and maybe that's part of his contract that he signed with them. You got to have one of my guys out here dressed up as one of my
Oh,
sponsors.
I wish I didn't have Ice Speed. That dude is really annoying. I don't know if you follow him or if you know of him. He's a YouTuber streamer guy.
Yeah.
The dude is just he's so hyper all the time. He yells so much. He swore as
Barks
well.
too.
I don't know if he meant that.
Yeah, he barks too. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, look,
barking at Randy Orton.
it's fun when KSI did it because he is partnership in Prime, so it made sense. I don't know if I Speed is the partner as well in Prime. But if they're going to do this all the time when someone's in the Prime outfit, it's going to lose its novelty now.
I was
But
actually,
you get excited, goes, okay, who could it be this time? And it might be Randy attacking Logan. You know what I mean? So the idea's there,
yeah,
but
that's maybe it'll get set up down the line and cost him the belt because he'll think his one of his buddies, and then you look at the ramp when the match is going on. You look at the ramp, and the guy, his buddy's coming up the ramp tied up or something, and
yeah.
right, and then he just looks, and it's Randy Orton or somebody, and costs him the belt. That's what I was hoping it was when I saw it. But then when I saw Randy Orton come to the ring and on the golf cart, I was like, "No, there goes that." But yeah, that would maybe down the line that'll happen. But
That's a good match. This is probably my number 2 or 3 of the whole 2 nights, man. I'll put this underneath the IC title match
yeah, it was
because of Logan. Because of Logan.
yeah, and Logan puts on a show and he gets the win again. I mean, what can you say about this guy, dude? This guy has no fear. I mean, he'll
No,
fly. He flies around the ring. Um, Jeez.
his 5-star frog splash goes to the roof.
Yes. And he is, like I said, he has no fear to do anything in that ring. And did you see him during the Cody match when the championship match? Did you see him up there and his reaction?
Yeah.
You know, doesn't seem like a bad guy. I don't know. I don't keep up with the whole.
Look, if you knew Logan from when he first started on YouTube, he kind of annoyed you a lot because he was arrogant. And that's good. Good on him. He made a platform. He's got a following. He did a few controversial things.
Yes, I heard about that.
But look, if I just tuned in right now, never knew who the guy was, and saw this guy called Logan Paul in the ring, I'm like, that's my guy, man. He's my favorite.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, if you're going on ability, and like I said, if you watched him and didn't know how long the little amount of time he'd been around, you'd think he was a seasoned veteran, but he's not.
Exactly.
He's not. He's just getting into this stuff. He just signed to go full time not too long ago. So
I think he's had like 15 matches, and I think 3 of them have been at WrestleMania.
yeah,
So good on him.
yep. All right. So go down to the next match for the WWE Women's Championship: Balo versus Io Sky, and Bailey gets the win. Bailey,
It was coming. Good on her.
oh, you knew you. I mean, I would have been totally shocked. It would have been another Cody last year moment if she hadn't won because it was just leading to that so much. But yeah, she gets the win. I mean, you had some kind trying to interfere. Of course, you knew that was going to come, but
Yeah.
they fight him off, and Bailey gets the win. Happy for Bailey. This was like her WrestleMania moment too. I mean,
It was.
all the other horsewomen, I guess I don't know, Sasha. Did Sasha ever really have a moment at WrestleMania?
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
Okay. So
So they
she was
all
the
have it
last
now.
one. Yeah, she was the last one, and now they all have it. And I would really love sometime before all these ladies retire for them to get that group together and really, really. I thought it was headed that way with this whole damage control when Bailey left. I thought that's the way they were going. Talking about Sasha maybe coming back, but then
Well,
I
this
guess.
WrestleMania for the women could have went so different because Charlotte was out injured.
Oh yes, you had Charlotte's out. Who else is left? You think if you had Sasha coming in,
If she chose to come back, yeah.
yeah, if she chose to come back, and that would have been right around WrestleMania time. She would have made that would have probably been the surprise. But yeah, not a bad match. I mean, it would. I would say you were on the edge of your seat watching just to see if she would get the pin because there was a lot of close pinfalls. But
Yeah. And
Bayley,
I like Bailey as a face. I think she's great.
oh yeah, she's better as a face than a heel.
Yeah.
As long as she doesn't go back to the whole pigtails and the blow up.
Oh, the hugger.
Things. Yeah, that stuff. I mean, just let her be who she is right now as a baby face, and she'll be all right. She's a little too. She get a little. Not that she's old. She get a little too old for the whole hugger and
Yeah.
the little cartoony stuff. But yeah. All right. So we get to the main event. Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. Bloodline rules. WWE Undisputed Universal Championship match. Man, what a match. Back and forth. You talk about hidden finishers. These guys hit finishers left and right and couldn't get them out. Of course, you knew there was going to be interference. And the first thing was the what was it? The Usos.
Yes.
Whichever. I can never keep up.
Jimmy came out.
Jimmy comes out and Jay ends up spearing him off the ramp.
That's a big fall too.
Yeah. So they're out of the picture. I was like, okay, they're out of the picture right now. So I think Solo was next.
Solo came out. Yep. And yeah, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I thought this was going to be it. I don't know why, but they did the Samoan spike and the spear at the same time. And I thought that was it. Two finishes at once. You don't really see that.
Well, the look on Solo's face when Cody kept kicking out, and he wasn't. I'm not talking about him looking at Cody. He's looking at Roman like he's ticked off. Like why can't you finish this? Why can't you pin him? So that happened for a while. Next thing you know, you hear John Cena's music, and the bald-headed wonder comes out. But man, how much weight has he lost?
Yeah, he's like 0% fat now.
He is like, I don't know if he's getting ready for a movie or what, but oh man, I was like, that's John Cena.
He got a little gas too, I noticed. A little bit.
Yes. So he takes care of Solo.
Because if you don't know, those two had a match last year. So
he takes care of Solo. And then you hear the last boss, final boss. The Rock's music starts playing, and Cena gets that look. And I didn't like that. I really didn't like that. You don't want to see your babyface, legendary champion, with a look of fear in his face when he hears music. And he looked like when he heard that music, he was looking like, that's what a heel does. That's what a heel does. But Rock comes to the ring, takes hold of Cena, and takes care of him. And did the Shield music play first?
No. Undertaker,
yes, okay. And the way I hear that story, okay, the Undertaker, the lights go out because the Rock's getting ready to do something because the lights go out. And when he come back on, the Undertaker is standing right behind the Rock. And, of course, he takes care of the Rock, gets rid of him. And the way I hear it, that was going to be Stone Cold, but they couldn't come to a financial arrangement.
Yeah.
Which I hate. I hate that. Which nothing against the Undertaker, but the fact that it would have been Stone Cold and The Rock again with that legendary feud they had, and Stone Cold could have said, okay, I got you back from last time. The last time we were at WrestleMania, you beat me. I got you back from last time.
Because all he had to do was just do a stunner on him. It wasn't like he's going to go fight him in the corner.
No,
But it
no,
makes you wonder, what was he asking? Obviously, something. I'm not saying money wise, something didn't come to an agreement to
yeah.
that.
And you think if Vince would have been there, it would have been a done deal. It seems like him and I don't know if him and Triple H got along, had that kind of relationship as him and Vince
Like
did.
put away everything that Vince did for
Yeah,
5 minutes. I think he would have done it for Vince.
yeah. I think he would have too. I think
Um,
I think the relationship with him and Triple H isn't bad, but I think it was like, okay, I'm not going to give you that hometown discount like I would Vince, because Vince made me a superstar.
because they could have said, "Look, we'll give you $1 million." Just say, and Stone
Yeah,
Cold could have said, "Give me 3." Maybe he gave him such a high number so they wouldn't get him. He didn't want to do
yeah.
it, and if they said, "Okay, we'll give you 3," then he's laughing. I mean, the Rock and Taker had a mini feud going, it wasn't to the standard of Stone Cold.
Oh no.
But if you could pick somebody else, maybe you can't do Mark Henry because he's in AEW, but maybe like a former Nation of Domination guy. Like maybe Farouk came out and go, "I remember you kicked me out."
Damn.
I mean, like who else could you have picked for that spot besides
I
Taker?
don't know who else would have been. I mean, I mean,
Shane?
nah, Shane wouldn't.
You know what I
Shane.
mean? It's kind of like who
It,
else could it be?
Nobody just had a feud with him. I mean, that was the big feud. Triple H would be the only other one. And Triple H is not going. I mean, he can't wrestle. He could have probably done what Undertaker did, but Triple H would be the only, and that would set up a big feud with being the Rock's on the board and Triple H kind of back and forth. I mean, he wouldn't have been able to wrestle anything, but he could have had a
He could have
group.
came out and just hit the sledgehammer and got out.
Yeah, he could have. Triple H could have sided with like Cody and helped them out, but I don't know. I think it ended up well. The Undertaker gets rid of the Rock, and then I'm like freaking going nuts because all of a sudden you hear the Shield music start playing.
Who did you think it was?
There was no. So we were doing the live, and somebody was like, "Moxley's coming." I was like,
I
"There's
thought
no
it was
way.
Moxley. I thought it was
There's
him.
no way Moxley's coming." But then you see Seth struggling to get to the ring in his Shield. He's wearing the Shield stuff. Even it looked like he even had the
I
hair
think
of the
he
thing.
went back and dyed his hair red.
Yeah. So Roman has a choice while he's in the ring there. He got a chair. Cody's down, and then you look and Seth's over there with his back turned to him. And you go back to remember when Seth hit Roman with the chair and
Yeah.
split the Shield up, and he chose to hit Seth, and it backfired on him, and Cody got him and got the win. And man, this took me back to like the old days of wrestling because all the guys from the back came in the ring, or most
Yep.
of the baby faces came to the ring, celebrated with Cody, picked him up
Yes.
on the shoulders. I mean, it was a big celebration. You don't see that a lot, especially here recently. You don't see that a lot when a title change happens. You see maybe that guy come in the ring is in the ring by itself.
Oh, I forgot to mention too. Brandy came out too.
Yeah, Brandy. Yeah, you saw her backstage. I don't know if you saw the social media video. You hear the pinfall, and then she looks at somebody and says, "Can I go now?" And they say yes, and she ends
Yeah.
up out there in the ring with him. And then, of course, with Cody's family, and he looks up, and it was I mean, one of the best endings to a match I've seen in a long time. I mean, just it finished the story. Of course, Dusty's probably looking down, smiling on him. The only thing that could have made it even better if somehow Dustin would have got involved.
I was waiting, man. I
He was
thought
there.
Dustin could have been in Taker's spot. There you go.
Yeah, Dustin was there. He was in the box. He was in the Rhodes box up there. So I forgot who else was there. There was one other guy there from AEW.
Oh yeah, I
Ricky
just had his
Starks.
AJ
Ricky,
Sparks. Yep,
yeah,
Starks. Yeah, Starks.
he was there. So happy for Cody, and now you see where he goes from here. Of course, now he's got the match at
Oof.
Backlash with AJ Styles coming up. But already, look, it wasn't even a day after he wins, and the bashing already started. Everybody that wanted Cody to win it was like, okay, he's had it for a day. Let's start bashing him again. That
It
is say
happens. It happens every year after Mania. Every new champion.
he hadn't wrestled in 2 weeks. Y'all were talking about part timers. I said he hasn't wrestled in 2 weeks. I mean, it's not like he's pulling a Roman.
No.
Now, did you see Roman go down the ramp with Paul Heyman, and they had a moment at the edge of the ramp, hugged, and you. I'm just wondering. I know Roman's doing a movie right now, but I'm wondering how much of this his health issues are playing into
Well,
this.
if you didn't know, Pat McAfee dropped the line. He still is battling leukemia.
Yeah,
He has to take tablets every day for the rest of his life. I thought, see, with me, this is just me being me. I thought when he said he was in remission, I thought they got it. Obviously,
right.
it's still there. So maybe, you know, he's taking time off for himself now as well.
Well,
Maybe,
that could have been the reason for the part time schedule too.
of
I
course.
mean,
Maybe he's
looking
doing
back,
dialysis every other day.
the doctors probably could have said, hey, you can do this now, but you can't overdo it.
Yeah, you can't keep taking hits on your lungs and your back nightly. You got to do it once a month. Obviously,
Yeah,
there's a reason why they let him get away with that 30-day clause.
something's going on. I really
Um,
believe something's going on there.
but look, I picked Roman to win this match because I thought the storyline would be better if he kept going. Now we're stuck with what I said. Now that Cody's champion, what do? You give him AJ. Dude, there's no build up there. AJ's not going to beat him.
The only thing that you saw the other night at the contract signing, and it wasn't really anything, was AJ say, "I knew your dad. He was a good man." That was it. I mean, so is AJ turning back babyface again?
Yeah,
I mean, because you would think if he was doing the heel, he would said something else to him. He would have you know, I know your dad. He's a good man, but you know,
he's not here no more
yeah,
or
your
something.
dad's not here. Your dad's not here. I'm going to take you out. Um, and then went on him. So it's no, like you said, no real big and backlash. I mean, that's always been I don't want to say a second rate pay per view, but you always got kind of a transition pay per view to something else. You know what I mean? It could
Yeah,
end up being somebody at that match. You know, Cody's going to win. He's not going to lose
oh
to
yeah,
AJ Styles. It could be end up being somebody in that match attacks Cody after the match. There's been a lot of talk about Sheamus with Cody, but I don't know. I don't know where you go from here because you got the bloodline is not even mentioning Cody right now. You know, Solo and
no.
Tama, they're not even mentioning. They're not even looking at it. So I don't know where
That's,
you go for now with Cody.
that was my issue when I said, okay, night two's finished. The Raw is the next day. He comes out. Now what? We had no idea who would be second in line to go up against him. We knew straight away with Seth and Drew that CM Punk will be there. Maybe a rematch with Seth. You knew there was something there. Even with Damian, he can go up against Drew because he wants his title back. There's stories there. There's nothing for Cody.
The only thing I can honestly thinking about it right now that would work right now is have Randy Orton go heel and attack Cody after that match and say, "I was the one that I taught you everything you knew." He said, "I'm going to take the belt from you now."
Well, he was the one holding up Cody at WrestleMania night 2.
Yeah.
And there was a photo. Maybe it was just pinpoint perfect. Maybe they told him to do it. He was looking at him, not happy. He was just like, all right, you're champion. I'm coming after you now. I can drop you here right now. Now,
You remember the when Orton won the championship that time and Batista had him on his shoulders?
he does that.
And Triple H did the whole
Yeah.
dropped him. I was thinking that the whole time. I was like, oh, God, he's going to drop him. But they had to let him have his WrestleMania moment.
Oh, yeah. The one thing I will say that was great about the Bloodline match was, besides Solo attacking Cody, no other interfering person interfered with the match. It was perfect.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I hadn't thought about it that way.
Like Paul said, it was just a moment of relapse where Roman saw Seth, went after him, and he lost his focus. Nothing else happened besides Solo hitting the Samoan spike.
But you know that's what's coming now. Whenever Roman decides to come back, it's going to be Bloodline versus Bloodline.
He is going to be the biggest babyface in years when he comes back,
because they are holding nothing back now. Apparently, because they, one of the wrestlers made a comment after WrestleMania. We don't have to say sports entertainment anymore. We can actually say wrestling now.
Yes.
Where we couldn't before because somebody else wouldn't let us. And now you look at what the Bloodline did to Kevin Owens the other night. Evidently, blood is back in the picture because Kevin Owens was busted wide open, and man, this should be getting good for a while. WWE is like white hot right now. I mean, they can do no wrong right now.
Did you watch the Raw after Mania?
I watched some of it. Yeah.
Did you see how there's no big Titantron now?
I didn't notice that. I know that. Look, when they showed Cody that video,
they brought the TV
on the little screen because there was so many people. They sold so
apparently many that's what they may be doing from now on. Just have fans all the way around. Have maybe the Titantron up on the roof where the Basque will have it, and have that little old school NWA entrance where they just come out because Triple H said we got too many fans. We can put more. We can put an extra 5,000 people in. They're setting every week on Monday Night Raw. It's like they set a record every week for attendance record on Raw. Yeah, so they're going sky high, and I don't know what's going to happen with Netflix now. Will they have commercial breaks?
I think that what I've heard, and this is just me hearing things, you might have a different tier. It's kind of like,
I heard that. Yep.
With Peacock, you got a $4 package and you got a $10 package a month, and I got the $4 package, and that shows commercials. I have no idea what they do during on the $10 package when there's no commercial. I guess they have an interview or something like that. But
like I got a picture maybe
something like that maybe. But yeah, that's probably the way they'll do it. I imagine, but maybe. But it's Netflix though. Why are you going to have commercials?
It'd be a good way to put it because people are paying to watch a commercial now. But I don't want to watch someone do a hold in a corner for 3 minutes straight.
No. I that's why I'm not too worried about commercials. But because if you go to a live event like Live Raw or something like that, you see them just sitting there for the whole commercial break, like you said, doing an arm bar or something like that for 3 minutes. Yeah, you don't want to.
Or like when a wrestler comes out and they're in the ring watching the ramp, like, we'll come back to commercial break, and after commercial they're still there watching with the music. Like, were you there for 3 minutes? Just looking?
Exactly. How awkward do you think it is for those guys?
Or do you think, like, I've never been to a live Raw because we don't get them here. Do you think they talk to the crowd for 3 minutes? And it's
I've been to a live Raw before.
They just stand there.
They do exactly what you say, because I got lucky, really lucky. A good friend of mine that worked with a radio station, They had 4 tickets to was it Hampton? Maybe the Richmond Coliseum to Raw. And he called me during the weekend, and this was when my daughter was big into. She was really into it, and I was like, "Heck yeah, I want them." And my wife and me, and she got to take a friend with her, and we were right there behind the the guys that control the lights and the pyro and stuff. And to sit there and watch that, I watched a lot of them what they did that night. That was really interesting to see how what they did. But like I said, when the commercial breaks come on, they were just walking around the ring waiting.
Just pacing.
Yeah, and it was funny. I don't know if you remember. Gosh, what was her name? AJ Lee was there. Big E was her bodyguard. Gosh, what was that girl's name that had the two-toned hair? She's gone. She's been gone for a while.
Yeah, mind blank.
Anyway, my daughter was a huge fan. Where we got her one of those big life size stand ups of hers, and she and Big E did like the whole acting like he liked her and all that, and he let her down. He turned on her, and she was upset, and she was walking out of the ring. I think they were in commercial then. My daughter yells out, and everything got so quiet when she yelled out, "You're like the sister I never had. I love you." And I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Everybody around was just looking at her. She didn't care that. She didn't care. My daughter was like totally different. She's so laid back. And I told my wife that was the first time my wife had been with us when she had went to a match. I said, "You think you know your daughter? Wait till that bell rings." I said, "You ain't gonna know your daughter. She talks trash." She did, and she talked trash. But
Well,
yeah,
that's great.
she had a back in the days when she cared about wrestling. But she did watch some Mania with me. She enjoys that. But yeah, WrestleMania 40, I would say, I don't know about you, one of the best WrestleManias in a long time for me.
It was great. Like I said, I was really excited. I wanted to watch it. I was excited for every match. I mean, besides the Usos, like I was excited for it, but I lost interest so quick.
Oh yeah.
Only 2 champions retained, which was great.
Yeah.
So,
When you get to a big pay-per-view like that, you want to see some title changes too. I mean, you don't want
obviously
to see
this is a new era now. We're gonna start fresh, new champions. We're gonna keep a couple because the storylines are great, but this is a brand new one now. So,
yep, and the night after the Raw night after is always crazy, and it was crazy that night. Not quite as crazy as I thought it would be, though. I was expecting a lot of crazy stuff. You want some people to get called up to the main roster or some surprises, but not really what I thought. But here's what it is. I'm excited about WWE right now. It's the most excited I've been in a while about WWE. I will actually look forward to tuning in to them.
Yeah, like the matches are better. It's more exciting. You don't know what's going to happen sometimes. Even I, watching Raw and SmackDown, I'm like, oh, this guy's going to win, and he doesn't. Like, wow, I didn't see it coming. Yeah. It used to be so predictable, but it's not now.
I think no disrespect meant the old regime that was handcuffing some of the stuff that was making it so predictable is gone, and now you're seeing, like you said, a new era, and I think it's gonna be it's gonna keep you on your toes, definitely.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as of today, or maybe even yesterday, apparently Vince McMahon has sold every stock he had left in share of TKO, so he has nothing to do with WWE ever again.
Not the what is the other guy that was with him too, the Khan guy,
Tony Khan.
Tony Khan. He sold his too.
So, oh, really? There you go.
Yeah. So like I said, the old regime is gone. The new regime is still there, which Bruce Pritchard is still there. So we'll see about. Everybody says he's Vince Jr., but I don't mind Bruce.
Bruce is good. I mean, if you guys listen to his podcast, he has a lot of insight. He doesn't tell a lot because he holds it in, which is fair. Because they might say, who runs the show backstage when you're not there? He goes, I do. He won't tell you everything, which is good. You don't want
Right.
to know
That's
stuff.
good. Yeah, that's good.
But no, look, Bruce is great. Besides
I don't have
Brother
a
Love.
problem with Bruce. Um, Before we go, and I don't know if I have three right now.
We can do a one-off. We kick out at 2. How's that? Because I've got 2 things. So
Yeah, I've got let me see if I can come up. I didn't even think about it till we were
you
talking.
do yours, and I'll do my kick out at 2. So at the moment, if you watch on Netflix, Baby Reindeer. I don't know if you guys have seen it, heard about it.
Baby, what?
Baby Reindeer. It's a true story. It's a 7-part episode. It's about a guy who works at a pub, and a lady walks in, and they get talking. He gives her a glass of Coke, and she has no money. And he goes, all right, it's on the house. But the thing is, she keeps coming back because he gives her interest, talking to her, whatever. And she becomes his stalker. And like I said, true story. She finds an email address and she starts emailing him like 600 times a day that they're
Oh wow!
together, everything. And like I said, it's a true story. The guy who plays the guy who gets stalked is the actual guy that got stalked. So
Oh
he plays
really?
himself. So yeah, highly recommend Baby Reindeer. I won't go into too much because I don't want to spoil it. But yeah, it's a true story about it. Look, not being sexist or anything, it shows that men get stalked too.
Yeah. Oh
It
yeah.
happens to men all the time. Um, but your Baby Reindeer on Netflix, and I'm getting into Sons of Anarchy. Never seen it. I'm up to season 2
I've
now.
never watched that. Never watched that.
I like it. I really like it.
Yeah.
So it's on Disney. So I don't know why Sons of Anarchy is on Disney.
That's kind of strange. That's kind of strange, but
And that's my kick out at 2.
okay. Well, I may can come up with three, so I may get my three count. I haven't actually watched this yet because it just came out a couple of nights ago, or maybe last night. So I got to give it a try. The Bon Jovi documentary.
Okay.
Thank You, Good Night, the Bon Jovi story. I've heard a lot of people talking about it, saying it's good. 4 parts to it.
Okay.
Definitely want to check it out. Bon Jovi, somebody asked, I think Mitch LaFon on social media, they asked, did we consider Bon Jovi a legendary band? I said, yes, definitely legendary band. I mean, they were so big in that era. But yeah, and you're gonna laugh when I tell you what I've been watching this week, because this takes me back to when my daughter was younger, and she started watching it, and I just got into it. Um, I'm almost ashamed to say this, but it's funny. The Diary of a Wimpy Kid movie.
That is one of the greatest shows ever, man.
Yes, we sat and watched all 3 of them this week.
It's so good.
I'd forgot they had made a third one with kept the original people in.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I will say this, after it was over, I looked up what's his name, Kevin and Rowley
Yeah.
on social media to see if I could get an interview for the podcast. So I sent him a message. I doubt we'll see that, but I would love. Kevin is actually a singer. I don't know if you knew that or not.
No.
And I mean, you remember the first one when he sang
Turn Around.
Yeah, Total Eclipse of the Heart. Yeah, he's actually a singer, and the girl that was in the second movie, the one that's on Karate Kid or Cobra Kai. I don't know if you remember. They were actually together at Coachella a couple of weeks ago. So they had a Diary of a Wimpy Kid reunion. The last thing I'm going to talk about, and I have not finished this yet either, but started listening to Dolly Parton's Rockstar album.
Oh, wow. Okay.
The deluxe version, I do this for my album channels now. The deluxe CD has 39 songs and is over 2 hours long.
Of like all new songs.
No, there's some new, but the majority of this she does covers with.
Oh, that's fun.
Like she did Sting had a part in Every Breath You Take. Steve Perry guested on Open Arms. Um, let's see. Blondie, Debbie Harry on Heart of Glass.
Wow.
Let's see. I'm looking at what I've listened to so far. REO Speedwagon, the lead singer Kevin Cronin on Keep on Loving You. She did Purple Rain. Joan Jett was on with I Hate Myself for Loving You. So far, she did Magic Man with one of the sisters from Heart. I can't remember which one. That was pretty
Nancy?
good. I can't remember which one it was now, but
Nancy Wilson or something. Yeah.
did you see they are back together? They're back
Yes.
to score. They got back together. Thank God. I was glad to see that. I'm a big Heart fan, but yeah, I've only got to like 20 songs out of the third night. So
Yeah,
I'm
right. Good stuff.
halfway there. She did the last one was Stairway to Heaven, and that was that was long. Stairway to Heaven's a long
Yeah.
one. And Dolly does not need to do Stairway to Heaven.
I'll have to
But
give it a listen.
yeah, it's something, and I'm looking forward to. I'm a big Daughtry fan. Daughtry is from my hometown. Actually, he's coming out with some new stuff, and I saw the other night Celebrity Family Feud. You made it when you get on Celebrity Family Feud, and the band Daughtry is going against Papa Roach. That ought to be.
Wow.
Who would have ever thought Daughtry and Papa Roach on Celebrity Family Feud?
Yeah.
But
I won't say they're the biggest family band.
yes, exactly. Anyway, any last words before we get out of here?
No, that's it, man. As I said, the way WWE is going right now, I'm excited. Even though we don't know what's going to happen with Cody, that's what makes it exciting. I just don't know.
There's going to be some. I just got a feeling that Backlash is going to be somebody's coming, and somebody's going to end up getting him at the end of the match. Not costing him the match or anything, but maybe after the match.
It'll start something.
Yeah, and it'll lead to something else. But
Yep.
All right, guys, that's gonna do it. And next time we'll come up with something for next time. Maybe we might have to go back in time, go a ways back in time, like Kyle said. Y'all were just now recapping 40. You want to recap Starrcade 86? Maybe we'll do Starrcade 86 next time, Kyle.
Yeah.
How about that? Yeah, we'll go back. I think we're going to go back old school next time, and
Good a couple of old school pay-per-views, yeah.
Yeah, we'll review one of those for you guys. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for the Hitman Down Under, and for myself. You guys have a great week. That's going to do it for the Triple Threat main event.